Hi, I'm Rosie.
And I'm Jack, and this is Bella. We're gonna make quinoa today.
Quinoa is a seed that's eaten like a grain.
What does it taste like?
Quinoa has a nutty flavor that will go really nicely with some other veggies in our grain bowl. But you can also cook other types of grains the same way that we will cook our quinoa. You just have to adjust the cooking time. Grains are shown as the orange shaded section of the My Plate icon. Whole grains are good for our health in so many ways. The dietary fiber in our whole grains, like quinoa, help us feel full and helps keep our digestive tract healthy.
What I really like about quinoa is that it takes a lot less time to cook than rice, so I don't have to wait as long.
So the first step is you're gonna wet your hands with running water. Now apply soap, and you're gonna scrub your hands for about 20 seconds. Or another tip you can do is you can sing happy birthday twice. Under your nails, behind the hand, get in between your fingers. Now you can rinse your hands off. And now you're gonna use the paper towel to turn off the faucet. There you go.
We're using pre-rinsed quinoa, so let's measure out 1 cup. Why don't you do this with a dry measure cup?
So you're just gonna spoon it in just like that. And then when you get it to the top, you wanna shave it off with your butter knife there. With the back of the butter knife, and just shave it right off.
Okay. Looks good.
So now let's measure the water. The liquid measure allows you to measure different fractions of the cup. This is 1/4, this is 1/2 cup, and 3/4 measure mark. That's so you can pour liquids and measure. And the spout makes it easy to pour the liquid.
When we pour liquid into a measuring cup, we make sure it's on a flat surface. Get eye level to the top line of the liquid so you can see when it reaches 1/2 cup. Let's try measuring and looking for the top of the liquid. So Jordan, can you pour the water in there for me? And Lily, hold it steady for me. And you want to see it when it reaches that 1/2 cup line. And stop. And now let's get eye level. Get down. Is that a 1/2 cup?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's start to boil the water that's gonna cook our quinoa. When the quinoa is cooking and absorbs the water, the quinoa will get bigger and we'll have 3 cups of quinoa after it's cooked. And stove tops are very hot, so we need to keep our stove area very clean. It's important to have more water than grains when cooking because grains absorb water. Different grains have different ratios. So for quinoa, the ratio is 1 cup of uncooked quinoa to 2 cups of water. We turn on the burner to high to get the water to start boiling quickly.
How do we know when the water's boiling?
When we heat up water, all of the molecules begin to move, and they move faster and faster until we start to see bubbles. Once we see bubbles, then we know that the temperature has reached 212 degrees Fahrenheit when the water is bubbling.
I can see the water bubbling. Can we add the quinoa now?
Okay, so we want to make sure that the bubbles don't get too big and jump out of the pot. So once we see that it reaches boiling point, we can lower the heat to prevent it from overflowing. And once we lower the heat, we change the water from boiling to simmering.
Okay.
Now the water isn't bubbling anymore.
Right. When we add things to boiling water, the temperature gets really low because the quinoa we added isn't as hot as the boiling water we added it to. So now it's time to cook our quinoa. All we have to do is cover the pot, and I'm gonna put 15 minutes on the timer. All right. And we'll just check back in 15 minutes.
It's been 15 minutes. Can I check on the quinoa now?
Do you remember how to open the lid?
You open it out away from your face with these mitts to let out the hot steam. And there's your quinoa.
So we can tell the quinoa is done because all of the liquid is absorbed, and it looks like quinoa has popped like popcorn kernels. Grains go so well with so many things, it's so easy to top them off with other foods. Here's a bowl for Bella.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And one for Jack.
Thank you. And we get to choose a protein to mix in.
Can I put in broccoli, carrots, and some fruit too?
Yes, it's a bowl made of 4 different My Plate foods.